All right, going in with the Zoom again instead of using the GoPro. I guess that was just my rookie mistake the other day when I tried to make a video using the Zoom so that it just goes straight to my computer and saves a lot of time, makes things easier, right? And then it recorded with a little tiny box down the corner with me in the corner. That was it. So it looks like I got it figured out. I just missed a button. Same old shit with my existence. Life is trial by error with me. But I got it. I got it. So, as soon as I'm done this, I'm out of here. I am going to pack my gear. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pack my hunting gear. I'm going to use my bow, my camera gear, my big cooler, and I am going to go over to the coastal mountains and see if I can't harvest one of my monster bucks that I've been following for quite some time. Last kick in the can. The season ends December 15th, and you're allowed 3 deer a year in this province. So, I'm going for it. What else am I going to do then? Then Sarah, she will be packing our stuff for Mexico, which isn't too much. Then she will get a ride to the ferry, go across. I'll pick her up with my truck. Maybe smelling like dead deer, maybe not. And then we go straight to the airport. And when we use our credit that I've had, because we're about to lose it all if we don't use it, and we're going to fly down to Cabo San Lucas, where I've never been. I'm not a big Mexico guy or party guy, but my friend Jody, my good friend Jody, who has Trophy Hunter Sport Fishing, he now has a boat down there for Marlin and tuna in Dorado. I think I mentioned this in the other video, didn't I? And I'm going to catch my first Marlin and hopefully catch our tuna for the year, because I didn't go tuna fishing up here. That's the main theme of the trip. Of course, Sarah wants to see Mexico. I want to get my tuna. So that's what the cooler's for on my truck. So apparently Jody's crew, they will process your catch, vacuum seal it, and flash freeze it, and it's ready to go in a proper packaging for traveling in the airport when you're done. Bonus, unless they lose it in the air, right? So that'll be good. So as soon as we get back, then I throw that in the cooler and we drive home. And that's what we're going to do. 3 or 4 days. That's it. Whew. So now it's endless, right? It's endless, but that's my plan. Now, what else? Hopefully everybody's getting dialed into how to join the membership so you can see that video conversation between Dr. Melba, Ketchum, and I. And so far it is 100% approval. I don't know if you can see the comments under that video, but you should probably check them out. All right? That's going to work out. So, I hope that's going to work out when you figure out how to do it with an iPhone. Anyway, I'm not in the mood. I could babble a little bit right now, but I don't really want to. So I want to get to hearing more people's voices. All right. I was just talking to Melba this morning about when I'm going to come down. Won't be until after January, that's for sure. But before it gets hot. I'm a Canadian. Texas will melt me. This is titled 2 Crazy Ass Stories. Hello, Steve. My name is Chuck Reed, and yes, I want you to use my name because I don't give a damn who says what, and I know what I experience. Right on, Chuck. You are our brother. Free man. First of all, let me start by saying that, brother, you kick more ass than a donkey, and I love your channel. We need more people like you. Now let's get into it. Thanks for the kind words, my man. My first experience took place in 2017. In between the towns of Wallace and Orchard, Texas. I have a buddy who owns damn near 3,000 acres in the area. And to top it off, there is a river. Brazos River. Brazos, Brazos, River, runs through his property. I was visiting for a week, so I asked him if I could do some fishing on his property. And he said that he had at least out. No worries, because there was a small kayak launch on a public access road that would allow me to get to the river via public land. I pulled into the small parking lot, And as soon as I get out of the car, I hear a knocking in the woods about 200 yards in front of me. And then I hear something splashing in the river about 100 yards to my left. I'm thinking to myself, who the hell is in the river splashing water that loud? Godzilla? The tree knocking continued until I started walking down the embankment. That's when the splashing stopped. Okay, odd, but I thought nothing more about it. Just went on about my business. I was having zero luck, which was odd because that river has never failed me when it came to catfish. And I had some powerful homemade stink bait. Well, it started to get dark, and I'm fishing near the bridge that crosses the highway. And something in my mind tells me, go look in that flurry of cattails. Let me read that one more time. Go look in that flurry of cattails. I swear, it was as if another voice kept urging me to go look in those cattails that were about 3 feet in the river. Well, I took off my boots, rolled up my pant legs, and walked into those cattails and discovered a stuffed teddy bear floating there. It really freaked me out. And so I pulled out my cell phone and called a friend of mine who still resides in the area and told him of my discovery. He told me that where I was fishing was where the body of a 10-year-old child was discovered. She had been kidnapped and killed by a serial killer that we both went to school with. Holy shit. It was a mind speak that kept telling me to go into those cattails. What else was the cause of the splashing and wood knocking? All right, so that was where the body of the 10-year-old was discovered. Why would somebody send you there after it's discovered? My second encounter took place that took place the day I started watching your YouTube channel. The day? Holy shit. I was surfing the net and came across How to Hunt. I binge watched all day. When I fell asleep that night, I had a weird dream that one of those damn things was standing on the left side of my bed. Red, glowing eyes, hair about 5 inches long, water dripping from all over its body. A 7-foot tall female Bigfoot. The weird thing is that when I came out of this dream and opened my eyes, I was still looking at this thing for about 3 to 4 seconds before it faded away. Okay, I kind of chuckled to myself and said, well, that's what I get for looking at How to Hunt all damn day. Here's where it gets really crazy. The same damn thing happened to me the next night, and then next for damn near 2 weeks straight. Every night I would go to bed later and later because I was trying to avoid this shit happening to me. I'd feel something touching my chest, and I would open my eyes, and there it was. I'd fly to bed in fight or flight mode, and this thing would vanish in front of my eyes. Steve, I am by no means trying to toot my own horn, but I'm a professional wrestler, military police officer, bodyguard, martial artist, holding multiple black belts, and a few other titles that no one, including myself, gives a shit about. I say that to say that I'm no badass, but nothing much scares except not living the life that I want to live. Totally picking up what you're putting down, man. But I have to say that I was a basket case and thought that I was going crazy until my friend, who lives 4 hours away in the next state, overcalled me and say, hey, do you know there's a 7-foot tall female Bigfoot that's covered in wet hair that stands on the left side of your bed and touches you every night? A little background on my friend. Excuse me, she's really spiritual and has the ability to see things that others can't. Brother, I shit you not. Almost started to cry when she said that. That's when I knew that I wasn't batshit crazy. It wasn't until much later that I heard of David Politis and these creatures being in or around water. I had to consult my spiritual godfather in regards to this matter, and he explained to me what needed to be done to remove this creature. I started putting my pieces of the puzzle together in November 22 when me and my lady friend were walking in the Cleveland National Forest, just 30 minutes east of San Diego at about 7:30 p.m. We were stargazing because there's not too much light pollution in that area, and we saw no less then 25 translucent objects flying through portals over San Diego. We would see a red flash of light, the objects flying all over the skies for over 30 minutes. So, putting all of these pieces of a crazy-ass puzzle together, I'm banking on the idea that these creatures can move from place to place using portals, just like those flying craft that me and my lady saw back in November of 2022. Well, I've taken up enough of your time, and thank you for being a man amongst men. I said it then, I'll say it again. You kick ass more than a donkey. Please use my name because I have no fear of any man who can bleed like me. Charles Reed. Charles, you are my and our brother, as you know. I'm glad you found the channel, man. I'm glad it's helping. And I wonder if your friend, the intuitive friend, if her name starts with an R. My curiosity. There's a lot going on, man. Oh, what's this? Another email, but it says, for your eyes only for now. All right, moving along. Now a little bit of a flurry of people lashing out at me saying, your channel's gone downhill, man. You've like flipped your freaking crazy noodle. Oh, well, it's kind of like when I was talking to Nino the other day. And I said to him flat out, we talk about this shit openly and publicly like we are right now, unless you either have experienced something crazy or have been looking into this topic for quite some time. If you just dive into this channel and start listening to us talking, you're going to think everybody's out to lunch, right? Without any previous knowledge. And then, like I said previously, people lash out by trying to make it with the LOL or the ha, you're crazy bunch of sons of bitches or whatever they say. They're just scared. But it is what it is. That's the stage. That's the level that this channel's at now, right? And that's another thing, too, I wanted to mention, everybody. Especially since my conversation with Dr. Melba Ketchum. I'm realizing, you guys have listened to me in the past. I lose my patience watching people do the same thing, right? Doing the same shit, mimicking each other, doing the same freaking thing that leads to nowhere and does a circle. And it was only after my conversation with Melba that I realized, the light bulb finally went off in my head, that there is a lot of people, when it comes to this topic, there's a lot of people out there who I believe only see this as a business opportunity, and that's it, right? And I think I seriously don't think that a lot of these people, I don't think they even care about helping anyone, and I don't think they really truly care about finding out the real truth, which leads to other truths. That's what I think I should probably accept as fact at this stage of the game, especially after watching their actions, watch what they do, watch what they focus on, right? I mean, there's places out there who talk to people like we do here, and they charge a monthly subscription so you can hear it, and as well hit all of the what do you call them, conventions, which I don't know. I was Melba and I were talking about that in private the other day, and I was saying how, I was asking her what she thought about the convention things, Bigfoot gatherings, and so far it seems to me, and take note, I'm saying to each their own. Do what you got to do. I don't give a shit. It's just not my flavor. Because my flavor is trying to find the truth and help as many people as we can. And then I watch the people. I was previously invited to a lot of these conventions. Never went, only once. But for me, it doesn't make sense for me to go to one of these conventions because everybody in the audience is already on the same page. Done. As far as I'm concerned, you can use this method to reach as many people as you can to help and get the word out. Whereas at a convention, I feel all the people in the audience are already here, already on the same page, but they're paying money. And the people on the stage are making money. And I have a funny feeling that's why they do the circuit nonstop. It's always the same people hitting the stage, telling the same shit, and they're getting money, which is fine. If that's what you need to do to pay the bills, that's fine. That's great. It's just not my flavor is what I'm saying. What I which as well backs up that a lot of the people that we see all the time when it comes to this topic see this more as a business with no real other goals on their plate. Anyway, sorry. No, I'm not sorry for the babble. You guys are all my friends at the same coffee table. And I happen to got the mic. And that led me to another off topic, but possible similar. Like, imagine if all this came out, all the facts we finally bring all the truth out. What's that going to do for all these other people who rely on this topic as a business? As long as everybody's going in the same circle, mimicking each other, the revenue keeps flowing in, I would imagine, right? It might come to a dead end, the revenue flow, if all the truth comes out. And as someone, Sarah and I, on the same note, and I'll get to sharing more in a minute. This is another thing we were talking about recently, and I like to share with all you guys, all right? Because when I do, I get feedback, and all of your wheels turn, and people smarter than me listen to me and email me, and it makes me smarter, more aware, whatever. Anyway, it's valuable. And I was thinking the other day, we had a lot of awesome people here emailed in remedies for cancer. And what I've never really thought too much about it, but as I go along my ride and learn from all of the people, see what's going on, I realize Sarah's very, very into healing and staying healthy and looking young. She is a guru with natural, healthy foods and medicines. And I'm like, I said to her the other day, I go, donations for cancer research is got to be in the multi-billions worldwide, right? Now, let's just say it's gotten so far, it's gotten so popular, gathering money for cancer research. I mean, it has to be right up there in revenue with the internet or oil, whatever. It has to be. And once it gets into those kind of numbers and this far along, so now we have generations of people who have spent their entire careers doing cancer research and getting that money. That's a lot of people by now, right? That's a lot of people depending absolutely on donations for cancer research. And I have a funny feeling by now that those numbers have gotten so freaking high, I have a sneaky suspicion, my gut's kind of giving me a little bit of a, hey, I got a funny feeling that the chances of them keeping the cure for cancer away from the world is right up there. Now that we all know the power of the money, money and the power, what it does, how important it is. And for us in our faces, the powers that be, definitely 110% money and power is far more important than your average human life. That's a fact. So, with all those clues combined, I got a funny feeling there's a blatant few cures for cancer out there, and they are keeping it from mainstream public knowledge because of the money factor when it comes to cancer research after a few generations of it. That's my thoughts on that. Kind of lines up what I was talking about with the business of Sasquatch, Bigfoot. Now, what's a video without me babbling, right? Moving along. Who do we got? What do we got? All right, here we go. Here's another one. Maybe the ultimate puzzle piece is the title of this email. All right, all ears. Hello, Steve. I'm addressed as Lewis Edward. Love and light to all those seeking truth. I humbly thank you for your time and dedication helping all people. Bless you for all you give so freely. May the love and light of our source be with you always, always. Lewis Edward, thanks for the kind words. I share your love for nature. I feel most at home when in the forest and wilderness areas. I will relate my encounters briefly, as they can be explained rationally and are not the important information herein. Both experiences were on the Dick Earl arm of Navajo Lake. northern New Mexico, happening on separate trips. First happened late afternoon, sunny, partly cloudy, and we observed two basketball-sized orbs. They were mostly white with yellowish haze towards the center. Both moved vertically downward, about 20 feet apart, and disappeared after a short time. I wrote it off as ball lightning. Second happened 10 p.m. or later, when I heard what sounded like large rocks splashing just off the aft deck. The fear I felt at the same time, I thought, was my concern for damage to my boat. Its occurrence I wrote off to beavers that have lived in this arm for years, slapping the water with their tails for my presence near their home. My intention is to share the knowledge I've discovered after 71 years in this physical experience. As you say, take from this what you will or leave it. I'll give my references and sources for all the research at the end of this email, for those who have doubts, concerns, or just want to go deeper down the rabbit hole. Please understand, I believe we truly have free will, and everyone is on their own path. What I share here is spiritual and has nothing to do with man's many religions. I'm all ears. I'll get to the puzzle piece after a little groundwork. Please accept the following as truth/fact, even if you have your reservations. 1. Love is all there is. 2. We are eternal consciousness. 3. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. 4. Fear is the lack of love. 5. Everything is vibration/frequency. Number 6. We are all creators by intent or default. 7. Our emotions are the indicators of our connection to Source, God. Your feelings of love and happiness are high vibrations, connecting you with Source. And fear and hate are the lowest vibration, disconnecting you from who you really are. Number 8. We create by thought, word, and deed by vibrating the fabric of space and creation. Number 9. As you think, you vibrate. As you vibrate, you attract. As you attract, you receive. Try to have the highest thoughts of love and happiness. Give thanks and gratitude and appreciation often. Laugh at life. Number 10. There is only now. And now we are experiencing, the now we are experiencing is that which we created in the past, manifested. Number 11. What you push against, do not want, you attract into your life and add power to. Source does not interfere with our free will, and any judgment of our free will is self-inflicted. What we call birth is moving our eternal consciousness/being from our spiritual home to the physical. And what we refer to as death is our eternal consciousness returning home. Number 14. We all have a higher energy self that is always anchored to Source. We're all one, and at the same time, unique individuals. Now, it is time to share the most important puzzle piece, in my belief. This is so easy, will cost nothing but a little well-spent time, and should turn out to be earth-shaking. The most important thing we can all do is connect with our Source, the creator of all, God. My least favorite reference for Source, but most familiar to most people. Please, to all the atheists that may be here, don't shut down quite yet, as you may discover a life-changing experience. Side note, I learned that a while back. I listen to everybody, and I encourage all you to as well, all right? Just listen. Listen to everyone. The ideal method to connect with Source is meditation, although there may be other ways. I am humbly asking all who hear this, spend as little as 15 minutes a day quietening your thoughts. The best time I have found is as soon as possible after waking from sleep, as the rush of life is minimal at this time. The actual time of meditation is not as important as the actual meditation. If you find it difficult to stop thoughts, try focusing on your breathing. water dripping from a faucet, or a quiet fan running. If quietening the mind is not working, focus on happy, loving thoughts during the time you meditate and keep trying. Once you have quieted your thoughts, now focus on happy, high vibrational thoughts. Think of the world in a loving way that you desire it to be. One of us connected to Source in this way is more powerful than thousands who are not connected. I've found out that meditating has had many positive effects on my life. I hope it is clear that the idea is for each one of us to create the world anew in thought, word, and deed. Please, all help with the manifestation. I suggest this is a way of having positive effect on the world without the negative effects of violence. Or I am open to other possibilities and will gladly entertain other thoughts. I hope all who listened till now will join me in a new now. As I try to end this long narrative, I'd like to shed light on subjects that rise often on this channel. Fear cripples so many people. I cannot emphasize how important it is for all to understand we are eternal beings having a physical experience. Do not fear death or any of the psychopathic narcissists that are impacting our lives at this time. Do not push against those things you do not want in your experience. Bless everything in your life and think no more of that which is not wanted, changing your thoughts to a higher vibration. We should all try to understand there are many unknown things surrounding us. Live in a state of love, high vibration. Fear no thing, nothing. I am sure Sabe are most everywhere. Never seen one, although I would put that on my bucket list, along with cougars, wolves, whales, and a long list of others most of us will only see on film. For me, the gut instinct you refer to often is our ever-present higher self protecting us from something. We have so many abilities we have forgotten and are hidden from us by those who should be teaching us. Absolutely agreed. Big time. Sorry for that little outburst. The abilities attributed to Sabe we have also, but are forgotten. My understanding of Sabe is that they are people who made the choice to live rural/nomadic lives when others chose civilization in the distant past. Love without end, Glenda Green. Sabe probably made the correct choice, as civilization seems uncivilized in many ways. Sabe being people, they should experience emotions as we do. If you were to hurt my family, what response would you expect? For those leaving negative comments, bless them. They know not who they are, nor their true path. Try hard to judge not. Go within, for that is where we will connect with our higher self and our true source. I know you're in control of how you feel and respond to what you experience in life. We are not these bodies we use in the physical. Think of it as our avatar. Our eternal consciousness is the experiencer, the observer. If by some chance I've not lost anyone hearing this, I will close with my supernatural experience in northern New Mexico 10 or more years ago. A friend who was a channeler from birth was instructed by his guides to build a medicine wheel in a very high energy location used by Native Americans for hundreds of years. A group of friends met him at the appointed time and place, and the medicine wheel was constructed to the guide's plan. Years later, while visiting for the purpose of meditation, I gave a prayer of thanks before entering. As I opened my eyes, I was surprised to see all the pinyon pines on this mountain glow with a brilliant emerald green light flowing to brilliant white for the last 8 inches of each branch. The guides, when questioned, told us it was the energy of the medicine wheel. Thank you again, hoping this does not turn out to be your longest email. Love and light to you and all our fellow experiencers. Lewis Edward. References: Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. Abraham Hicks, Law of Attraction. Near-Death Experience, YouTube. Conversations with God, Alan Watts. Peter Panagore, Edgar Casey. Autobiography of a Yogi, Yogananda. The sources are abundant if you truly seek. They will find you. Agreed. Agreed. Especially the manifesting part of life. I've learned that on my own. Manifesting is very, very powerful, and it works, and it's true. And I have a funny feeling that everything this person just spoke is very valid. But how do you get everybody to break free from our taught patterns of thought and reacting, right? And I'm guilty, man. You guys know I'm guilty. I'm guilty of reacting and growling, wanting to fight, wanting to expose the pricks, right? Manifesting. I have some friends come up and met me hunting this fall, and I know they all want to get that big dream buck, and I told every one of them, you have to manifest it. It's very, very powerful. Make sure you manifest it. Create it in your mind. Create the success. And that's what I do every single day, no matter what I'm doing. No matter what. Manifesting what you want to do successfully is possibly key. It's possibly something, if you don't do it, it's not going to happen, right? Obviously. I'm babbling. There you go. I hope everybody listened to that. And you're going to think about it. Think about your actions. Think about other people's actions and how it affects us. I do. I'm learning. I'm not perfect, but I'm learning. And I have learned that listening to everybody, for me, is what I need to advance in life. I know that. I hope everybody realizes that. Take from what you will or leave it, right? What do we got? Who do we got? Excuse me. All right, here we go. Knowledge you seek. Don't use my name. I need the harassment. I contacted you a year ago. Hardcore outdoorsman, and I have plenty of hard truths you're seeking. But the amount of emails you have is overwhelming. It's a shame, but it is what it is. I hate computers, as any outdoorsman would. I told you before, we had to dispatch one to save a man. I snuck up on taking a crap gun hunting. Excuse me. After that comes the intense stuff, though. Never knew who he was before or after, but the events after show how wimpy and gutless some conservation officers really are. Yes, that's right. They tricked us into unknowingly going after a clan. Story is too long, but you can learn a lot by simply calling. I like to talk man to man. I hope you do get a locator beacon just for safety's sake. You take a lot of trips to unknown areas. You're not invincible. Do it for Sarah. And crack me up also. I don't care if a Sasquatch is 16 feet behind him with a 12 gauge 3-inch Magnum 2 shots. What's he going to do? Better yet, if you see how they're hung, shot to that, don't think they're going to advance. And what's with the dead silence thing? I've been in a stand hundreds of times, and it's called a sky-high barometer, not a sound. And bluebird skies, I don't get it. Well, one more, we spotted a Sasquatch at 60 yards pacing back and forth. He was pissed, I think. He couldn't locate us. He, plain as day, tilted his head back, put his open hands on both sides of his jaw, and clear as day, a single knock came out. I'm tired of this computer crap. You have my number. You want the good stuff so you can share? Give me a text. Here's my number again. Don't share. Till we speak, you need to know the good stuff and what cowards these particular conservation guys were and how they threatened us. Godspeed, brother. God bless. And God bless you're a man. I'm sure you've been in a dire situation where you've prayed. I hope so. Okay, man. I can't guarantee you that phone call is going to be anytime soon. I wish you would have sent me a little more info, a little more to trigger me into feeling I really need to phone the number. And I'm not being a dick. I'm being honest. I get straight up. I don't know if you're legit or not. I haven't a clue. But what I can share is I don't know how many different people have emailed me and said, hey, you want to know the truth? Phone me. I get that. Just so you know, talking direct to the person just emailed me this. I've had that statement in emails I don't know how many times. I got all the answers you want. And then they try to shame me in a way if I don't phone their number. See ya. Haven't phoned one yet. I honestly haven't phoned a number yet where somebody has been, and I'm not saying you're dick slinging, but I've had people full on egomaniacs slinging their dick saying, I know this, I know that, everybody's a dumbass, and you're not going to know shit unless you phone me. So it's almost to the point now when somebody says, phone me, I get my back up, just because so far 100% of these people have not convinced me I needed to phone them for anything. But anyway, sounds interesting to me, very interesting. Conservation officer, that's what we call game wardens in Canada are referred to as conservation officers. So I'm guessing you may be in Canada. I don't know. I'll have to do a little search on your area code. But anyway, I guarantee you that phone call is going to be happening anytime real soon. So we'll see what comes of this. All right, there you go. I receive it, I read it, and you guys hear it too for the first time, all right? What do we got here? Okay, hold on a minute. See, the good thing is on this, I can just pause it and then hit record again. So I'll find an email. All right, here's one. Stories and a short video. Hi, Steve. My name is Lisa. I live in Deering, New Hampshire. I have to say I personally have never seen a sabe, but I feel I ran into something one day. This happened 4 years ago, but still sticks with me today. I hadn't seen my cat all day, and I started calling, which usually he came. He wasn't coming. So I started looking for him. There's a path behind my house that leads to the other side of the trailer park, maybe 2 miles away. I got to the end and started back calling him the whole time. And Steve, I was not scared at all. Excuse me. My focus was finding my cat. And all of a sudden, the only way I can explain it is this dread came over me as I heard the footsteps start running from behind me. But the footsteps were so heavy and loud. And at the same time, I was like, I couldn't hear anything but this echo in my head. I started running and screaming for my life. And that is what I could muster up. I really haven't been back there alone since. I know a lady that confided in me one day. See people from the park walk the path, take their dogs for a walk. Well, she came out from the path with her dog and told me that her dog all of a sudden stopped. So she looked to see what was ahead of them and swears she could see this big brown-looking thing against the tree as she proceeded to describe a sabe. And then it just disappeared. Steve, this lady's not a liar. I told her about my incident and totally believed her. Also, one of the town officials, retired now, but I believe he was in the paper because he saw one. So that brings to the video my boyfriend took this one night, and I was sleeping exactly where this thing proceeded to enter. Take from what you will, but when I look at it, it reminds me of a Bigfoot. You can see a leg, the body. It really is quite strange. You know those videos people have sent in about clouds coming to the ground? Please watch this on the biggest screen you have and turn up the volume. My boyfriend can't sleep, so one night he kept hearing these noises coming from the front of the house, so he went to look and couldn't see anything. So he started taking the video with his phone. This is what he captured. You can see it run past him, and you can hear it run by. Steve, thanks to you and your family for all you do. All right, how am I going to do this? I don't even know if there's a share screen on here or not. I'm going to have to dig up her email to find this video. Let me see what I can do here, all right? If anything, you guys, and it's worthy, meaning it's definitely makes sense to share it, and it's not, because we get all sorts of types of video that some things are absolutely nothing, you never know, I don't know. So let me pause this, go into my inbox, pull up her email, do a search for her email, see the time it takes to do this shit sometimes, and And I'll find the video. All right, give me a minute. All right, here we go. I found it. Now I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm gonna share with you guys. Obviously, this is a cell phone recording over top of a computer screen of a security camera, right? Now I don't know if I'm supposed to be looking for a dark shot in the background, but I can't see shit on the cell phone. Now, if it's the white things going across the screen, well, those are obviously insects walking across the security camera lens, right? How do I know that? I've had them happen a million times on my trail cameras. At nighttime, especially when the night vision's ignited and an insect goes across the lens, this is exactly what it looks like. But so I'm doing